that near the end?
Yes, it was.
These are moments when cops finally caught calculated serial killers. Meet 31-year-old Damian Bendal, who on September the 19th of 2021 contacted police dispatch to relay some rather disturbing news.
Basically, I need the police and the ambulance now because I've killed 4 people.
Okay, just hold the line. Bear with me.
When officers responded to Damian's residence, they found him leaning against the side of his house, calmly waiting for their arrival. Meanwhile, his victims lay just on the other side of the wall. His girlfriend, Terry Harris, her 13-year-old son, John, and her 11-year-old daughter, Lacey, along with Lacey's 11-year-old friend, Connie Gent.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Alright, come to me. Mate, have you got anything on you that you shouldn't have?
No, there's no weapons or nothing.
Right.
Do you just want to do your coat? Have you armed yourself?
Yeah.
You have?
Have you stabbed yourself, mate?
I can see blood on your hands.
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
Just my chest, 4 inches in with a bread knife.
Can we have a look?
And, yeah, and one on the stomach. I bled quite.
Right, do you want to
Can we go down this?
No, just stay there.
I just don't want to be in front of them.
Right, just around the corner.
Just walking wounded at the minute.
Alright, stand here. Stay here.
Right,
So,
we're told you. I know what's going to happen to you now, mate.
Well, I know it's going to happen. Just go to prison, obviously, again.
Why? What have you done? Have you done something to anyone else?
Yeah.
What have you done?
I've murdered 4 people.
Complaint, but he's got some stab wounds to his chest. They're not oozing blood, but he's saying that his family are inside and that he believes he has murdered them. Damian, at 07:47 hours, I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. Do not mention when questioned something later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Your arrest is necessary to protect you from harm, to prevent your disappearance, for a prompt and effective investigation. Okay? We're going to get you up, we're going to put you in the back of the van.
When officers entered the home to check on Damian's family, they walked into a bloody scene where each of the victims' heads had been bashed in with a claw hammer. At the police station, officers questioned Damian and learned that he'd committed the murders the night prior while high on a mix of cannabis and cocaine. And afterwards, he'd stolen John's game console and sold it for even more drugs. Damian also admitted to engaging in explicit activities with Lacey's body, and that his girlfriend Terry was pregnant at the time. Following the interview, Damian was taken to jail, where he sat until December of 2022 when he pleaded guilty to the murders and assaulting Lacey. As a result, he was given a whole life order, or as we say in the United States, sentenced to life in prison. Though Damian showed no remorse for his actions, he wasn't as cold-blooded as the next killer, who was actually in a jovial mood after he'd killed an innocent man.
Where were you headed then? Just now, obviously.
No, I was going to Sydney.
For what reason, may I ask?
Oh, you should get...
On November the 26th of 2019, police received a tip that a wanted man was at a transport station attempting to board a bus to Sydney. 38-year-old Kevin James Pedford. But Kevin wasn't just any fugitive. He was an extremely violent man who was wanted for killing a 56-year-old homeless man by bashing him in the head with large rocks as he slept outside near Jack Evans Boat Harbor. The attack had occurred 5 days prior, and Kevin apparently thought that he was in the clear. That is, until he was confronted on the bus by police.
Kevin Pedford, put your hands up on your head. My name is Detective Sergeant Matt Woods. Put your hands up on your head. Put your hands up on your head. My name is Detective Sergeant Matt Woods. I'm a member of the New South Wales Police Force. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. All right, the time is now 4:15 p.m. Mm-hmm. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Mm-hmm. Okay? I'm arresting you by virtue of an interstate warrant. Okay. For assault in the state of Victoria. Do you understand that?
Yep, fair enough.
What the purpose is, what will happen now is you'll be taken back to Tweedheads Police Station and booked into custody.
Fair enough.
You understand that? Just stand up for me.
Yep, no dramas.
Keep your hands up on your head.
Yep.
Turn around and face me. Put your hands behind your back. You're going to be handcuffed behind your back. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you here with anybody else?
No.
Anything in here that may hurt me?
No.
Syringes or anything like that?
No, fair enough. Why the hell would that be?
Oh no, I'm just asking, that's all. Sorry guys, we'll be back on the road in a second. Yeah, all that property up the back. And the cans, everything. You haven't got any injuries or illnesses or anything? I've never met you before in my life, that's all. Now that you're in police custody, we've got a duty of care to you.
It's all good.
Okay, right, thank you.
Well, you know, back in the early days, I like to get into a bit of fisticuffs.
Okay.
You know, didn't mind a few punch-ons here and there.
Yeah, okay.
Supposed to go to court, didn't go to court.
Okay. So were you aware of the warrant?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no dramas.
Where were you headed then? Just now, obviously.
No, I was going to Sydney.
Okay. For what reason, may I ask?
Oh, you should get up.
When you say what do you mean?
Drunk as a skunk.
Okay. And were they your drinks on the bus?
Hell
Are you
yeah.
feeling okay?
No, I'm sweet, man.
Right. How do you feel now? On a scale of...
Oh, I'm a bit tipsy.
Okay. So what we'll do, we won't speak to you about things, okay? We'll take you back to custody in fairness to you and put you in what we call that time out. Do you need a refreshment break or a meal or something? I'll arrange any of that, okay?
Yeah, no dramas.
Kevin's criminal career would be cut short, and he was transported to the police station to answer for his crimes. And during questioning, police learned just how dark his aspirations really were. He spoke of desires to become Australia's most prolific serial killer and explained that he planned to prey on the homeless because they were easy targets. He also admitted that he was the author behind a letter sent to the police station where he referred to himself as the Hand of Death. Following questioning, Kevin was booked into jail where he attempted another murder by crafting a weapon out of wire and a razor blade and slitting the throat of an inmate. He was convicted and sentenced to 39 years in prison with eligibility for parole after 26 years. Hopefully we don't hear any more news about our wannabe serial killer, but the next killer will go down in history as one of the most twisted and unexpected murders imaginable.
It's official that they're dead?
Yes, sir, that's what it looks like.
On June the 7th of 2021, 53-year-old Alex Murdaugh called the police to report that his wife, 52-year-old Margaret, and one of his two sons, 22-year-old Paul, had been fatally shot outside of their home. It's important to know that Alex wasn't just anyone. He was a prominent South Carolina lawyer who had come from a centuries-long line of state top prosecutors. So when he left to go to his mother's house around 9 p.m. and returned an hour later to find his family dead, officers rushed to the scene to investigate.
Sir, I want you to let you know because of the scene, I did go get a gun and bring it down here.
It's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son?
I'm fine.
Okay.
It's bad. Check the pulses.
Yes, sir.
Long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
He's been getting like punched. I know that's what it is.
On February 24th of 2019, then 19-year-old Paul had used his older brother's ID to purchase alcohol and took his friends out for a party on the family boat. And by the time the party had been over, Paul's blood alcohol level was triple the legal limit, but he attempted to drive them home anyway and hit a piling, throwing his friend's 19-year-old girlfriend off. Her body would be found 7 days later, miles upriver from where the crash had occurred. Paul was subsequently charged with boating under the influence, causing death, and 2 counts of BUI causing injury. But the Attorney General's office mysteriously dropped the charges 2 months later. In response, the victim's family filed a hefty lawsuit against Alex, who owned the boat, Paul's older brother, and the owners of the store who sold Paul the drinks.
Just wait right here for me for a second, okay?
Well, I've already spoken with Captain Deal. He's got crime scene. He's contacted them. He's also going to give us the assistance of a couple of field agents.
You can check them. They're dead. They are dead, aren't they?
I just turned all those up.
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
Randy. He's all dead. Where are you now? All right. Yeah, the police are here now. The police are here now.
When was the last time you were here with them? Or talked to them or anything like that?
It was earlier tonight. I don't know the exact time, but
Okay.
I left. I was probably gone an hour and a half from my mom's, and I saw them about 45 minutes before that.
Okay.
I rode around with Paul for 2 hours this afternoon in the pickup truck.
That's your son, Paul? Okay.
They did check them?
Yes, sir.
It's official that they're dead?
Yes, sir. That's what it looks like.
I'm sorry.
No. You're fine.
I'm very sorry.
did have a firearm whenever I pulled up. It's a shotgun. It's been secured in my vehicle.
Unless it's the shortest 300 blackouts ever been made. I don't think you put that long back.
I haven't asked the dad about the phone, but dad did say he came over and checked.
For 3 months afterward, there would be no progress made in the case, but on September 3rd of 2021, Alex raised several eyebrows when he suddenly resigned from his law firm. The very next day, he called 911 to report that he'd been shot in the head by someone in a passing vehicle while he was changing his tire. An ambulance retrieved him from the side of the road, and he was treated for a superficial gunshot wound, but his facade began falling apart 3 days later when the firm announced Alex had actually left because he was caught stealing the firm's money to fund his lifestyle, along with an addiction to OxyContin. The following week, the man responsible for shooting Alex was taken into custody. 61-year-old Curtis Smith, Alex's friend and distant cousin. From him, detectives quickly learned the truth behind the shooting. It was actually arranged by Alex in an attempt to end his life. 2 days after Curtis was caught, Alex turned himself in, and after reporting that he wanted to die so his remaining son could claim his life insurance, he was charged with insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and filing a false police report. He was then released on bail, but rearrested a month later and charged with 2 counts of obtaining property by false pretense, after it had been discovered that he was also misappropriating more than $4 million in settlement funds from the accidental death of one of his housekeepers. Finally, in July of 2022, he was charged with the murders of his wife and son and pleaded not guilty. A month before his murder trial in January of 2023, he was accused of failing to pay nearly $490,000 in state taxes over the previous decade and charged with 9 more counts of tax evasion. By this point, Alex had racked up over 100 criminal charges and ultimately pleaded guilty to the financial crimes and was found guilty by a jury of his peers for shooting his family. In March of 2023, he was finally sentenced to life in prison, but that might not be the end of Alex's story, as authorities announced they're reopening an investigation into the July 2015 death. 19-year-old Stephen Smith, a classmate of Alex's oldest son who was found dead on the side of the road from an apparent hit and run. But unlike Alex, the next suspect had no interest in covering her own ass. In fact, she was more than happy to tell police about how she had dismembered her boyfriend.
Nobody's armed? Nobody's armed. You sure? I'm sure.
On February the 23rd of 2022, a distraught mother of 24-year-old Shad Therion contacted police to report that she'd found him dismembered in his room in the basement. His torso was cut open, and his organs were placed in different totes and boxes, while his head, and his privates were found in a bucket on the floor at the bottom of the steps. One leg and a few organs were missing from the scene. A mother advised police before she found him that Shad's girlfriend, 25-year-old Taylor Schabusiness, had been visiting and was alone with him in his room for many hours. A short time earlier, she had left the home in a hurry, so she went to check on her son, at which point she found his remains and called the police. With that information, police figured that Taylor wasn't too far away and began searching the area for her.
Hey, who did that? Hi, Taylor. How's it going? Officer Russell with the Green Bay Police Department. Just make sure you ain't got nothing on you here. Taylor. Taylor, you have one warrant for your arrest. Just put your hands behind your back quick. Maybe I'll see your first. You got blood on your hands here. Blood on. No, on your hands. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to. What apartment is it? What apartment are you in? Do you have it? Adam, please come up. You've got something to get out here. On the double. Which apartment? One that's what they came back to. Who else is in the apartment? Be straight up. Tomes? Who else? Just Tomes? Is he armed? Nobody's armed? Nobody's armed. You sure? I'm sure.
Taylor was taken to the police station and joined detectives in an interrogation room where she was very forthcoming about everything that had transpired that night. According to her, she and Shad had taken meth and were engaging in explicit activities while choking each other with chains. And when she got carried away and strangled him to death, she then essayed his body, dismembered him, and took a leg and a few organs with her as keepsakes before leaving. After answering all of the officers' questions, Taylor was then charged and booked into jail. She pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity and proceeded to attack her attorney during a hearing in February of 2023. Her insanity plea was subsequently rejected, and the following July she was convicted of first-degree intentional homicide, third-degree SA, and mutilating a corpse, and then sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. It's fortunate that police had stopped that maniac before she could do it again, but the only thing more shocking than a gruesome killer is an accidental one.
Baby on the bed with all these guns.
On April the 10th of 2022, a man was shot multiple times on Ted Turner Drive and succumbed to his injuries later at the hospital. Police identified the suspects as 41-year-old Earl Wade and 32-year-old Miosha Gentry, and weeks later on May the 4th, they showed up at their door with an arrest warrant.
Oh, wait! Miosha Gentry! It's the Atlanta police with an arrest warrant! Come to the door's coming down! Oh, wait! Miosha Gentry! Show me your hands. Step out. Step out now. Go down there. We got contact. What's your name? Contact. Arrest team. Stairs. Hey, Miosha. Move fast. Is Earl inside?
He's in the house.
Earl.
We got movement in the back.
Your boyfriend. Earl!
Arrest him!
Come here. Let me see your hands, bro. Walk to me. Walk to me. I don't care. Walk to me. You have an arrest warrant. We'll deal with your son. What? We'll take care of the baby, sir. You have an arrest warrant. Come to us. We're going to explain that when you come out, sir. Stay right there. Go ahead and turn around right there.
After taking the suspects into custody, officers entered into the home, and that's where they found a 1-year-old child laying on the bed next to 2 firearms.
Hey, Betty.
Gun.
Hey, buddy.
Bunch of guns on the bed, too. You're right.
It's okay. Bathroom's clean. Baby on the bed with all these guns. Hey, we got and the baby right here. Just chilling on the bed with him. What's up, buddy? Here you go, buddy. Come here. You come with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Officers arranged care for the grandparents to pick up the 1-year-old while Earl and Miosha were transported to jail. Both of them were booked on charges of murder, with Earl also being charged with aggravated assault. While that death was prevented before it could occur, the next officers arrived too late to save the life of a prominent figure in Atlanta.
I have a warrant out of Atlanta for homicide.
On September the 14th of 2023, 41-year-old Ricardo Gaale fatally attacked 31-year-old Tracy Cole with a knife near Centennial Olympic Park. Tracy was widely known as the great-nephew of legendary singer Nat King Cole, and the two men reportedly knew each other prior to the attack. On October the 28th of 2023, a month afterwards, officers finally located the suspect and took him into custody during a traffic stop.
Driver! Hands up! I got commands. Driver, with your left hand, open your driver door. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you. Step out for me. I can't, my seat overstood. I'm on the phone. I got this one if you want to do it. All right.
Somebody please let explain everything to you.
Step out for me.
And car step out. No, I can't. The car is still in drive. Okay.
Step out for me, my brother. You got any knives or guns or anything like that on you?
I do have my gun on.
Where's it at? Put your hands on the, leave them right there. Do you have an ID on you by any chance?
Yeah, it's right here in my pocket.
Right here?
In my wallet.
What's your name, brother?
My name is Ricardo.
Okay. Here's the deal, Ricardo. You have a warrant out of Atlanta for homicide. So, keep your hands on this car. Don't do anything dumb. We're going to put these handcuffs behind you, okay? Oh, yeah. I'm just cruising up and down 29. I just ran this tag. He went by me just singing. Woo. I run the tag and I'm like, oh, 83. And I was like, I didn't make this up. No, look, this is homicide. I'm like, but do it.
Incident 101.
The stunned suspect was booked into the Fulton County Jail on charges of murder, aggravated assault, possession of a knife during commission of or attempt to commit certain felonies, hindering persons from making emergency phone calls, and armed robbery. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one and don't forget to subscribe.